Although in 2020, our building was closed or under very tight restrictions and how many people we could physically have present, in many ways, last year was our most ambitious year and perhaps our most impactful year. We recognized that right away, if we weren't going to be able to have people physically come to us, we needed to go to them. The mission that we have from Jesus isn't to sit back and wait for people to come. Our mission is to go and make disciples of all nations. And that's what Jesus did. That's what the apostles did. That's what the early church did. That's what we have to do. That's what we're called to do, is to go and meet people where they're at, understand what their concerns are, what their needs are, and help respond in a Christian way by proposing Jesus Christ. It's been so amazing to see us pivot so quickly, switch over to such a missionary mindset in all of this, that we recognize that the old ways of doing things, that this wasn't going to be a 2 or 3 week lockdown, that this was going to be something that was really a seismic shift in the way we approach being a church and doing church.
My real faith journey only started about a year ago when the pandemic started and I finished CEGEP. It was my last year of 7 years at the same school. And when the pandemic hit us, I realized that I hadn't built any deep and meaningful friendships with anyone. Then I realized, wow, I am really lonely. Finally, I ended up going to Ontario to live with my cousin for a while. I had seen this kind of faith in my cousin and in his family, and I was really looking to find that sort of almost power that they had. They've lived such beautiful lives, and although they do have 5 children, so it's kind of chaos at times, they always have this sort of peaceful feeling about them. And when you're with them, you just feel really comfortable and loved and appreciated. And it's a really specific feeling. And I thought the best way of finding that was through faith. And so that's when I came back to Montreal and I signed up for Alpha. And I loved it so much that when it ended the first time, I signed up again. And I also signed up for a faith study at the same time. And the faith study, I think it's funny that I signed up for a faith study because that's really something I would never have done before. But I'm really glad I did it because what it showed me was how to develop this relationship with God. Because I knew I wanted to do it, I just didn't know how to do it. And so what the faith study did, and what Alpha also did, was that it helped me choose to live a Christ-centered life. It helped me choose Jesus in my everyday, and it helped me find a way to develop this relationship. It taught me how to pray. It taught me how to listen to God through His scripture, through the Bible, through messages, through other people.
I have to confess that I wasn't going to Mass ever since I got confirmed. It was only when I started dating my now husband that it was expected that we go to Mass every Sunday, so we would. And it became so routine to me, and I actually enjoyed it to the point where sometimes I would come to St. Ignatius on my own. And I loved the experience. Everyone was so welcoming, and I absolutely loved Father Mike. So that was a great experience. I went through a really rough patch at the beginning of the pandemic because daycares closed, and so I was finding myself having to work from home and take care of my young kid, and it just inevitably led me to completely burn out. I felt so alone, isolated, and I'm an anxious person in general, so when the pandemic hit, that just went through the roof. We started watching St. Ignatius Masses every Sunday, and I just remember feeling like I came home. Just seeing Father Mike's face, just seeing the inside of a church that I knew brought me just so much peace and calm, which at that point, I just didn't think was possible anymore. I remember just crying and crying and crying and trying to hide it a little bit because we were watching as a family. And so honestly, sometimes I would find excuses to watch Mass in my bedroom because I would just nonstop crying of relief. It was just so calming and just exactly what I needed at the time.
I would say the main difference from before and now is that I feel like I have a purpose now. I really feel like I wake up in the morning and I'm excited for life. I'm excited to do the work I have to do, to go to my internship with kids, because I'm in education. And I'm just more excited about life because I feel like I have a purpose, and I also feel like I always have like a buddy next to me, which is a great feeling. I always feel like someone's there to support me. I always feel like someone has my back, and that's the most amazing feeling.
My spiritual life now is so much more rich. I want to go to Mass. I look forward to it. I've actually been volunteering for Alpha as well, so not only do I talk more to God and my relationship with Him is just so much better, I hear Him better, but I also have such a richer connection with His church. I have a desire to give back, a desire to connect with His people, which is not something that I ever had before.
When I spoke to friends from school, once in a while, I didn't really talk about my faith ever. And so when my faith journey started, it was a pretty big decision for me to start wearing a cross. My birthday was coming up and I actually asked for a cross for my birthday. And so this is the one I got. And I really wanted to wear it because I wanted to feel more proud about my faith and less embarrassed by it, because I shouldn't be embarrassed by it. And so wearing the cross was really a way for me to decide, like, yeah, I'm not gonna hide my faith anymore. I'm gonna show it, and it's okay. I'm proud of my faith, and my faith is something important to me, so why hide it?
I would say there's a couple of benefits. There's just so many, but the ones that really stand out to me are the sense of peace that I can feel. I feel so much more in control of my life, which is funny because I kind of give up control of my life at this point. I give a lot of things up to God, but that actually allows me to focus on what's important and enjoy my life and live in the moment, which is something I've always wanted. And I just feel so much more connected with other people as well. Again, because I'm so much more in the moment, my relationships are more authentic, and I'm more myself. I think that because my relationship with God has gotten so much better, I feel so much more that I can be myself, because I was reminded that I am, the daughter of God, and so I don't have to worry about pleasing everybody, and that was just the most freeing thing.